everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope we're all doing very well. It is 11:45. I'll be totally honest with you. I've been procrastinating for about an hour about whether I do this stream or not. I've had a long day. And yeah. But after an hour of procrastinating, I said, fuck it. I'm doing it. Consistency is key, people. And I'm here. So big up to everyone that's watching. I hope you're all doing very well. Enjoying your Monday evening, almost Tuesday morning. And this is a late one. This is not a regular theme. I'm certainly not going to be doing midnight streams often, but today I will do it. I will do a midnight stream today because I think it's important to do streams consistently. And if I say I'm going to do it, I should do it. What has happened in the past day or so? I feel like a lot more has happened than people actually realize. Oh, goodness gracious. It's just mad, honestly. Absolutely mad. I do not understand why anyone can back Maresca right now. I don't understand it. Like, even when I speak to people that, I spoke to Lewis and I said to Lewis, do you want to do a video about why we should trust Maresca? And he said, now's not the right time to do it, which is fair enough. But if you believe, if you have conviction in this manager, this is not, I'm not just targeting Lewis. Sorry, that sounds like I just mean generally, if you don't believe in, if you do believe in this manager, now is the time to back him. Now is the time. And I was in this position last season. I made my choice. And if you believe in this manager, I want to hear you right now. I don't want to hear you if things improve, because they could improve. I'm not a total pessimist. They could get better. Things could improve. We could get some results. We could have some luck on our side. Newcastle could drop more points. I know they won today against Leicester. City could drop more points. Forest could fall down the table. Brighton, other teams, Villa. So there's always a chance for this Chelsea side to climb back into the fold. Like, I'm not a total pessimist, but you just don't. I don't see it. I mean, I don't see it. It's like when you go on a night out and you think, am I going to pull a 10 out of 10 tonight? The chances are, unless you're the best looking guy on the planet, you probably won't. You might pull a 6. And that's respectable. Like, you do what you've got to do. But you're not pulling a 10 every night. You're not doing it. And I feel like when Chelsea went into the market for this manager, we just pulled a bang average 5. I'm not going to say Maresca's a munter, but he is shite. He is absolutely rubbish. And I can't say what I'm saying lightly, because I've never felt this way about a Chelsea manager before. I haven't felt this way. I didn't feel this way about Potter. I didn't feel this way about bloody Lampard. I didn't feel this way about Poch. And that's just, I'm talking about the Clear Lake Bowley regime here. Obviously, if we go back to Tuchel, of course I didn't feel that way about him. And I genuinely liked most of the Chelsea managers that we've had. And I look back on them with fondness a lot of the time. I liked Conte. I enjoyed Mourinho, of course. Yeah, how could you not enjoy Mourinho's box office? I like Sarri. I was one of the people that defended Sarri. I used to go on 100% Chelsea, which was the fan channel years ago, when Chelsea Fan TV wasn't as big. And I used to defend the guy. So when I talk about Maresca, people seem to think that I have this agenda. And there's something that I'm doing with some sort of fierce malice towards a section of the fan base. People were like, oh, you know, Alex just wants to get back at everyone because Pochettino got sacked and because he backed Poch last year. I wanted Maresca to do well. I want Maresca to do well. I wasn't impressed when we signed Maresca. I've got receipts to back that when the announcement was made. But you can't tell me, you can't give me more reasons to back this manager than you can with any other gaffer. Any other gaffer. I'm including Frank Lampard in that conversation. Maresca has no fucking CV. So let's look at this manager. Let's look at this situation. Let's look at it. And let's try and be reasonable. Okay. Let's try and be reasonable. I'm speaking to the masses here. I'm not just talking to people who don't like the manager and agree with me. I'm going to try and speak to those of you who do see a future with Enzo Maresca. Okay, let me rephrase. A good future. You know, a future where Maresca can make things work. Even if it does take Maresca 2 or 3 years for things to click, and if he's given that time, fair enough. Why would I back him over any other manager? And I include Frank Lampard in this conversation and Graham Potter. Why would I back Maresca over those managers? Why? What has he done? What have they done? He has less credibility at the top level. And I'm talking about management, for fuck's sake. I'm not talking about being an assistant manager. Okay. Steven Gerrard had an awful lot of success at Rangers. And one of the main reasons for that was because of his assistant. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Steven Gerrard, assistant manager. What's his name? Oh, for fuck's sake. Michael Beale. Okay, Michael Beale was a key part of Steven Gerrard's staff. Managed to win the league with Rangers. Went to manage Sunderland. He was crap. Okay, there's countless examples of managers that have great assistants, really good assistants, and are great at their role as an assistant, but they cannot cut it in management when they are the gaffer. So when people talk to me as if I'm some sort of delusional fan who's never watched football and doesn't understand anything, like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm an expert, I'm not a pundit. You know, I'm a fan. Ultimately, I go and watch these games and a fan, and this is a fan channel. A lot of Chelsea fans, you know, watch the channel, and I appreciate that the things I say and the things other people say obviously could influence the way fans think about the club. So, you know, when I'm negative, it's not because I want you to be negative, but that's just the way I see it. Maresca has no CV for this job. He is underqualified. I said it in my fan cam after the game. And the style of football is one of many factors why this guy should not be managing a club like Chelsea. The style of play is one factor. We can all appreciate the style of play is boring and uninspirational. Not to mention, totally, it's like you're getting the soul ripped out of you when you're at the game because you've got a counter attack and you're thinking, oh my God, we're moving forward. And then what do you know? We pass sideways and backwards. And that is the consistent theme that we see under Enzo Maresca. And this is not just a theme from him. Well, there's other managers that do this. And I'm not saying that you can't win football matches with that style of play. But the more and more I think about it, the more disconnected I think, you know, the current regime at Chelsea is with the fan base as a whole. And when I talk about the fan base, I'm really speaking about match-going fans as a start. But I think a lot of the fans worldwide are probably starting to see what I've been saying anyway. And that is that This manager could be successful, but it's not fun. It's not entertaining. You don't feel at one with the manager. You don't feel at one with the directors. The decisions aren't being made just with football in mind. It's all financial, with this group. Everything is about, people talk about buying players. They're not buying anyone. They're investing. Why do you invest? You invest to make money. And that's what this ownership are going to do. And some people don't like it, and that's how it is. You don't have to like it, but you have to appreciate that what I'm saying is it's pretty much true. Everything I'm saying is true. You know that Maresca is not qualified for this job. You knew that when we hired him. You still know that because he has no CV to back it. If I had Jurgen Klopp at this football club and I knew that he needed 3 years to get us going and playing, I'd be much more patient. We do not have Jurgen Klopp. We do not have a fucking manager with any prestige for me to back. We have Enzo Maresca. And that's the reality of our situation. That is the reality. So, yeah. I heard a lot of people as well complaining about the starting 11. The starting 11 was very strange. It was weird. It was weird. But I actually appreciate the starting 11 more than a lot of other people did, because I think the main reason that Maresca did that wasn't for tactical reasons. I think he did that for fitness, right? So from a tactical perspective, it's a disaster. But from a squad management perspective, it makes sense if you want to make sure that Cucurella doesn't get injured. Nicholas Jackson, Pedro Neto, these are all key players. Colwell as well wasn't in this match, and Cole Palmer as well. So that was the least of my concerns, to be honest with you, for the Brentford game. I mean, it was a concern, but this is something that, quite frankly, I think has been going on for a long time. When I say a long time, I say ever since 2025, we've just been on a downward spiral. And listen, managers are able to make difficult decisions that ultimately benefit the teams they manage in difficult scenarios, difficult situations. And I'm just not seeing those difficult decisions being made effectively. Like there's certainly big decisions that have happened, but when you add them up, when you tally everything that's happening, it's not giving me an uptrend. It's giving me a downtrend. And I feel like ultimately we are going to suffer as a football club because we are so focused on this long-term goal, we don't even see what's in front of us. It's like you're trying to pass your driving test. So you practice driving all the time, but then you fail your theory. What's the fucking point? If you can't pass your theory, you're not going to drive. Pass your theory, for fuck's sake. And that's what I see with Chelsea. If we're looking at it from I will actually play this because this is relevant. This is what Maresca had to say after the game. It's probably worth listening to. Why not?
Tricky stadium, tricky game, sunny day. The pitch was dry. They tried to kill the tempo of the game. So for me was a complete game. But overall, as I said, I think we did enough to win the game. We shot more than 20 times. And probably the only thing we missed has been the goal. But overall, happy with the performance.
You're a fucking clown, mate. Happy with the performance. He's a fucking clown. He is so disconnected. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. And for those of you who are saying last season we were mid-table, we were within touching distance of this same spot we're in now. Only the difference is this season we're in 4th and we are within touching distance of going 9th or 10th. Probably 9th, to be fair. I don't see Bournemouth catching us, but you know, when I look at that top 7, it's so close. I don't see us finishing in front of Newcastle. I don't see us finishing in front of Man City. I don't see us finishing in front of Aston Villa at this current point in time. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Everyone said that after Tottenham, this was going to be the building blocks for us to push on. I said, fuck no. Tottenham is not about the building blocks. Brentford is the building block because that's a genuine challenge. Brentford is a better team than Tottenham this year. They have so much more to offer in terms of bringing us a competitive match, a competitive football match. We struggle against Brentford. They're not an easy team to play against, just like Fulham, just like Everton under David Moyes, who I think we should take seriously as well. Ipswich, I think we'll probably end up winning that match. Then you look at the last few games, though, and you're struggling to see where the wins come from. You are struggling. So, yes, I was working, lad. I had a long day. For those of you who don't know, I'm a tennis coach. So it's Easter holidays. Everyone wants to play. So I've had a long day. But ultimately, I've just been procrastinating. I probably could have done this stream an hour ago. I didn't know if I wanted to do it, but I thought, why not? Oh. Poch was also a yes man after the first season. He wanted his own say and was given his marching orders. As soon as Enzo stopped saying yes, he'll be gone too. You know, you say that though, Showman. I would actually argue that's not true, because I don't think Pochettino takes the job if he knows that he has zero say. Zero say. If Pochettino was a yes man, he would have never had the falling out with the ownership that he did. He clearly wasn't a yes man because he couldn't work with Bowley and Clearlake, Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley. He was able to work with Daniel fucking Levy for 5 years and couldn't work with Clearlake for 1. So I don't think that's a yes man. But when you look at Maresca, yeah, he's happy. Life's good. He's still getting paid at the end of the day. As long as you get 70% possession, 20 shots, doesn't matter if they're on target or not. As long as we complete 20,000 passes, life's good. As long as we have the balance. The balance. Oh. Yeah. Just watch that again. Just fucking watch it again.
Trickiest.
This is our manager.
Stadium, tricky game. Sunny day. The pitch was dry. They tried.
Oh, God. Tricky day. Sunny day. The pitch was dry. Your football is dry, mate.
Try to kill the tempo of the game. So for me was a complete game. But overall, as I said, I think we did enough to win the game. We shot more than 20 times, and probably the only thing we missed has been the goal. But overall, happy with the performance.
Maresca's happy with the performance. Yeah. Remember that. Maresca is happy. So then, I'm not the only fan. Yeah. There's other fans out there. There's other fans. It's not just me. It's not just me. All right. Now, Jacob thinks that fans need to stop complaining. But then later on admitted that the standards are low, and he's just sick and tired of complaining because those standards are low, extremely low. Father went on a rant about how he wants to kill half the squad, and then referenced the fan base to Simpson, a strip club. Matt thought we did enough to win the game, in fairness, but he was extremely unhappy with a couple of the players. I don't think Maresca's qualified for this job. Lewis, I actually haven't watched the fan cam. I can't actually comment on that. Nina thinks Maresca set us up to fail. So it's, it's not just me, guys. There's other fans out there that have opinions. There are other people out there that have opinions, not just me.
Tricky stadium, tricky game, sunny day. The pitch was dry. They tried to kill the tempo of the game. So for me, it was a complete game. But overall, as I said, I think we did enough to win the game. We shot more than 20 times. And
hey, because shooting more than 20 times, that's how you win football matches, guys. That is how you win football matches. That is how, guys, this has been the solution all along. This is what you don't know. You've got to figure it out. Think outside the box. Shoot outside the box. As long as you get over 20 shots, fucking hell. That's 3 points right there.
Probably the only thing we miss has been the goal, but overall, happy with the performance.
Happy with that performance. Happy. I'm so happy with the performance. I'm glad Enzo's happy. I'm glad he is happy. I'm sure he's having a good day analysing this game, but he's happy, isn't he? So when you're happy, there's not an awful lot more you can take from that. It's fine. It's fine. 70% possession. Only 59% possession in this game. Is that it? Is that all I'm looking at? See, I think if I was Maresca, I'd be disappointed with that. That's not enough possession, guys. We should be at least 65% possession. If we are not 65, we're passing forwards too much. We're giving away possession. This is not my Chelsea. My Chelsea is 65% or higher. Just like my exams at school, if I was lucky. Don't really remember, to be honest. You get the point, guys. 5 shots on target, 9 off target, 2 big chances to their 3. It's a load of waffle. It's a load of fucking waffle, guys. A load of waffle. Who's defending Maresca in the chat? I want to see it. Who the fuck is defending this man? Come on, I'm looking. Big up to you, Brian. I hope you're good. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. He says, this is some shameless shit from this guy, Holmes. That's right, Brian. I want to see who's in the chat. Who's defending this fucking clown? I tried to start off this stream and... Come on, then. Show yourself. Show yourself. Come on, people. I want to see some comments defending Maresca. Where are you? Where's the motivation from the rugby guy? Yeah, that's true. Prove it. What am I saying that's wrong? Please defend your man. Defend him. Okay, why? Decay, why? Why do you trust Maresca? Why? This isn't about Poch. This is about Maresca. I've moved on. It doesn't look like you have. But Brian, you see, today I have time. I have time today. Because ultimately, even if I'm wrong, I'll be happy. You know, I'll be so happy if Maresca proves me wrong. I really will. And I won't be embarrassed if Chelsea finish 5th or 4th. I will not be embarrassed. I'll be proud of my team. Thank the fucking Lord we got Champions League. I might not like the man who delivered it to us. I might not appreciate the style of football or the way he speaks to the fans, his dishonesty. You know, I might not like the fact that, you know, he's laughing with players when we're dropping points consistently, or he's shaking players' hands against Arsenal when they're laughing at him and saying they need to try harder, his team needs to do more. You know, it's not just because of the fact that he inverts the best right back in world football when he was fit into the midfield all the time, and he's really made our best player worse than he was last season by playing him as a number 10 when we know that we got more out of Palmer on the right-hand side, and that's the reason that we had to get rid of João Felix. But now we have no depth in the 10. But instead of trying to play Nkunku in his natural position, Maresca said that, we keep playing him as a striker, which we know he's not good at, but Maresca does it anyway. And he keeps picking Robert Sanchez, the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen at Chelsea, then decides that Sanchez is crap and deserves to be dropped. And then when Jorgensen doesn't even have a full, month doesn't even have a month in goal, he brings Sanchez back. I mean, he's fucking shit. He's fucking shit. He is crap. Oh. Again, talk about Maresca. You're deflecting. My double standards. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, you know what? I'm happy to have this conversation. I'm actually happy to do this. Let's look at these managers. I didn't want to get into Poch, but everyone wants to fucking talk about him. So we'll use him as an example. And by the way, I can use Graham Potter as an example. I can use Thomas Frank as an example. And that will get my point across just as well. So let's have a look at the management record. Let's have a look at it. Okay. Let's look at the information and make of it whatever you want to make. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. So we're talking about double standards here. Here we have Pochettino. I'll use him as my first example. I'll pull up Graham Potter as well after. That's fine. This is the CV of Mauricio Pochettino, okay, as a manager. He was an assistant manager once in women's football. Or actually, it wasn't. He said he didn't play any matches. I don't know where that's come from. Anyway, he was the manager of Espanyol, and he managed them for a couple of years. 161 matches. He went to Southampton. He was there for a season, or maybe a little bit longer. And he then got the Tottenham job after doing a great job at Southampton. Did really well at Tottenham, got them to a Champions League final. That's never something that Tottenham will do again, if we're being honest. That will never happen. Pushed Tottenham to the best heights that they'll ever have in, at least in this decade. Got the PSG job, and got the Chelsea job. So he managed some big clubs. Yeah, I've seen what Pochettino's done. You've seen it, whether you like it or not. You've seen it. He's a competent manager. Not elite. He's not the best. He's not like Mourinho. He's not like Guardiola. He's not like Conte. But he's in that bracket below. He's a good manager. Okay, he's worked at good teams. Tottenham, and he knows how to get the best at that level. He was very good at Southampton. He wasn't great at PSG, and I personally think he actually done okay at Chelsea. I think he had a tough season, but I think anyone would have had a fucking tough season, to be honest with you, coming from 12th in the league and then finishing 6th. So that's his CV. Now let's look at Maresca's CV. Yeah. That is not the CV of an elite coach, of a coach underneath that bracket. It's not even the CV of a good coach. That is a championship level CV. Championship fucking level. If Maresca was still at Leicester, they would go down. You know they would. And if Chelsea didn't get Maresca, nobody else would have got him. Would you be fucking asking for this manager if you'd have watched Leicester this season playing Maresca ball, passing the ball backwards when they've got fucking Vardy and they're looking to counter? Is that what you want? So when people say, I have a double standard, I have a pair of eyes. And my eyes can see this is not an acceptable level of manager for Chelsea Football Club. I mean, for fuck's sake, what do you want to do? Bring in Daniel Farke if Leeds get promoted? Hire the Sunderland manager if they go up? Is that the logic now? I mean, it's just pathetic. Honestly, it's pathetic. It's not because I have a double standard. It's because I have a standard. And to be honest with you, I never really wanted Poch. And I didn't want him. But when he came in, I supported him and I thought, all right, I'll give the guy a chance. And I think he did enough to keep his job. I think he did enough. From where we were to where we finished 6 places higher. We got to the Carabao Cup final. We got to the FA Cup semis. It was such a young and inexperienced squad with a lack of quality as well. And Maresca has just proved unambitious, dry. He's a liar. He lies in the press about the standards, the expectations, what he's been pushing towards at this club. His level, his standard is so low. How can you drop to that level? You think that Brentford was a good performance. You're happy with that. You back this manager. He was happy with it. So you must be chuffed. Absolutely chuffed. So those are the CVs. Yeah. Pochettino has a better CV. You're not that stupid. Okay. You've got a brain. You know it's a better CV. Okay. Let's do some more. Graham Potter. This is a more impressive CV than Maresca. All right. He actually takes out the fact that he managed the University of Leeds before he was a manager in Sweden, and he took Osimhen from like the 4th division to the 1st division or something like that. It was crazy what he did. Might have even been lower than that. Might have been the 5th division. And then proceeded to get them into the Europa League, where they were actually competing against Arsenal in the tie. I don't remember the score in that game, but I think it was that run in the Europa League that got him the Swansea job. And then he proceeded to perform well at Swansea, and he got the Brighton job. And he was good at Brighton. He needed a lot of time, but he was good at Brighton. I remember going to Brighton away, and I think I saw us lose. And that was when I saw Cucurella for the first time. I thought Cucurella was fantastic. And we were impressed with Potter, weren't we? We were very impressed. And he got the Chelsea job. So you can see that is the natural progression of a football manager who's doing well. He goes to Sweden. He stays there for 7-8 years. Okay. Progresses, gets promoted again and again and again, has a great cup run, gets a championship move, gets a Premier League move, and then gets an elite move at Chelsea. Didn't work out for him, if I'm honest. In the first season, in a situation like that, I don't think there's many managers that would have performed. That's the honest truth, I think. But again, let's compare this with Maresca, who was manager of Parma for 14 games before he got sacked. And then did a season at Leicester where he scraped the championship with the most money and the best players before getting his move to Chelsea. Graham Potter has a better CV and more credentials to be a Chelsea manager than Enzo Maresca. And Pochettino has a better CV than both of them. How can you tell me? How can you look at that and disagree? Like, you can still think I'm wrong and that Maresca can prove himself at the club. That's fine. But can you not agree that, look, just seeing the clubs that they've managed, how long they've managed, the fact that they did manage, they weren't assistants, they were managers. Can you not acknowledge that that is a really concerning thing to have a manager who's only ever managed for a full season once before coming to Chelsea? One season. Oh, that's good. We have a lot of kids. Yes, so we have to be very careful. That's true. It's a part of my argument. It's not my whole argument. But you're asking me why I'm not patient with Maresca and why I think he's a clown. I'm telling you because I have no reason to think otherwise. Because he's never done anything. Just like if I got the Chelsea job tomorrow, nobody would believe that I could be any good because they've never seen it. They've never seen me manage anyone. I've never seen Maresca do anything. He won the championship with Leicester. That's it. Finito. He's got nothing else to show. Do you think that other managers in the Premier League, if they had the same squad as he had in the championship, wouldn't have been promoted? Wouldn't have finished top? With that CV argument, you would want to get Mourinho and Conte back. Football is different now. He is washed even with the US team, for fuck's sake. I'm not talking about right now, though. I'm talking about why you would trust a manager, full stop. It doesn't have to be Mourinho or Conte. It could be anyone. But if they haven't got experience, like, okay, take away the clubs they've worked at. Just talk about managerial experience, full stop. You have nothing to back because there's nothing to see. So maybe the reason I could be a little bit more patient, and arguably should have been a little bit more patient with Potter, is because I know that after a couple of years, it starts to click. Maybe I could have felt that way. I can't feel that way with Maresca. The fact that we have Maresca, like, honestly, I look back at it and I just think, should have kept Potter. Forget Poch. We should have kept Potter. If this is the standard that we're going to, and we're looking for a yes man, which Potter is a yes man, and he always was. He was a yes man. He didn't complain about the club. He didn't have problems like that. He should have just kept Graham Potter at this point, to be honest with you. Well, obviously we should have kept Tuchel, but that's never going to happen. And this is my point. Yes, for fans to back a manager, he has to show something to be backed for. And people are saying he was good at the beginning of the season. Fair point. I've got nothing against that. I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't, singing and dancing when we were beating Southampton and Tottenham. I was having a great time. But if this is how we're going to look at every season because we were good up till December, we might as well already call ourselves Tottenham. If that is the level that we're going to go to, that is just Tottenham all over. That's Spursy. So, I'm very happy for Maresca to come out and get top 4, get top 5, win the Conference League. You know what? Fair play to you. I'm not going to be quiet with Chelsea's success. I'm going to be very happy. And I'll be more than happy to say I'm wrong. More than happy. Don't have a problem with it. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. I do not think I am. And maybe the directors are also part of the reason that Maresca won't succeed. You could have a fair point there. He's not got a good structure above him. That's for sure. The structure above him isn't good. Winstanley and Stewart and the ownership structure and the way what this club is set up to do, it's not good. It's not good whatsoever. So that's a fair point. If something isn't good though, Brian, you can't expect people, especially match-going fans, especially, like, people say match-going fans are the ones that moan the most, but it's probably because they actually support the team more than anyone else financially by going to these games and spending their hard-earned money. They take time out of their schedules. They get fucked over by the terrible public transport that we have in the UK. And, you have the absolute right as a fan to complain if you're not happy with what's being done. I'm generally, I've over the years, I have been the positive one. That's what I've been known as, the positive one. Even if we lost, I'd try and find a positive. Last season, I was like that. I've always been like that. When we struggled under Sarri, I trusted what we were doing. I trusted the manager. I trusted that we were going to come good. Even if it wasn't for that season, I still trusted us. And I just don't trust what we're doing. I don't trust it. I don't see how we get anywhere of significance under this manager. Like, we could still be a relevant team in the sense that we're competing for Europe and maybe we'll have a cup run and we'll sign some good young talents. That's as far as I see it going with Maresca at this moment in time. Now you're not positive and you can't even say why. You started mentioning some bullshit arguments like CV and your feelings during the game. So what you're saying now is that you think Maresca's CV is better than Pochettino's and Graham Potter's. That's what you're saying. And I have said why. Because I trusted Sarri. I trusted the structure above Sarri. I knew what Chelsea was trying to achieve. We had a great owner. We had a great board. We had good players, experienced players, and a manager that had actually done very well in Italy. Considerably better than anything that Maresca could do in Italy, who only lasted 14 fucking games. What are you on about? Load of fucking waffle. You have no arguments, only capital letters. That's all you've got. And Jesse, you make a fair point as well. Like, the ownership is absolutely to blame because they employed the people who then employed Maresca. Todd Bowley didn't go out with his binoculars and search for a manager and pluck out this guy from Leicester. That's not how it worked. So they absolutely deserve the blame, 100%. You know, it's a disgrace, absolute disgrace. But that does not take away from the fact that the manager isn't good enough. And just because the ownership is also to blame does not mean that the manager should not be criticised. Yeah, no, I did trust Sarri. You know, and again, like you think that I talk rubbish with this stuff, but you know, I have been going to games for a while, guys, and you know, I've always been a very positive fan with that respect. You seem to think that I just say these things. It's true. You know, I don't mind sharing this stuff with you. Alex. Oh, let's find it. Let's find it. God, 100% Chelsea was a while ago, wasn't it? Just. I mean, this is the where is it? Final game of the season. Look, that's 5 years ago, people. Me talking about UEFA. That was me. But that's not what I'm trying to show. What I would like to show you is, you know, my reaction after losing the Carabao Cup final. Against Man City. So when people say that, you know, I do mean what I say, and I remember what I say as well. I absolutely remember what I say, and I used to fucking look. I used to defend Sarri. Look, got fucking blonde hair. Jesus, Sarri did everything right today. Well, that's not a great video. We won 2-0, so it's fair. Here we go.
That's my response to that, to be honest.
I think honestly,
Damn, my voice has changed.
although it hasn't gone our way today, I think today was a true mark that the players they didn't give 100%, they gave 110%. They gave the extra mile, every single one of them. People are going to slate Jorginho because he missed that penalty. He missed, you know, he's a good penalty taker, but he missed today. But honestly, I thought Jorginho was really good today. In fact, I thought it was very good today.
This is after we lost the fucking Carabao Cup final, okay? I don't just say these things. I want to hear what I said about Sarri, because that's what I'm really waiting.
One of his best games. He takes the risk. He starts Emerson.
Here we go.
Over Alonso games in in fact, I thought it was very good today. One of his best games in a Chelsea shirt. The decision to start Emerson over Alonso. Nobody thought that Emerson was going to start this game because Sarri's been so stubborn. But what does he do? He takes the risk. He starts Emerson, and Emerson was fantastic today.
Paid off.
He didn't make a single mistake. Also, Hazard up front. Who expected that? We haven't done that for a while, and everyone thought that wasn't going to work. What did we do? We took the risk, and you know what? Even though we didn't win, it still showed we played fantastic football. Hazard was brilliant today. Hazard, honestly, I think he was unlucky today. There was that offside. Do you remember that offside?
Yeah. Wasn't offside apparently.
It wasn't offside. No, it wasn't. It was clear, and they didn't play on, and it cost us. Little decisions, Man City, little fouls, just ruining our rhythm. Dirty players they have. I tell you what, Fernandinho, dirty player, man.
Good player. You need the players that are going to be dirty. You need the players that are going to do the run of the mill stuff, and he does it.
Yeah, but honestly, they didn't deserve it today. We did not. This was not our typical approach. We started off defensively. We didn't know what we were going to do. I saw Kepa take more goal kicks up the field than I've ever seen the whole season. I saw Sarri adapt today, and honestly, after that, I'm so proud of him. After the game, this is the saddest day I've had.
Right. So I said, I thought Sarri, what did I say? Adapted today, and I'm so proud of him. Not sure I'm quite like Rory Jennings, but there you go. Each to their own. No, it's not Dan. It is not Dan. No.
Since coming to watch Chelsea. After the game, this is the saddest day I've had since coming to watch Chelsea. I burst into tears when we lost, and the players, they walked up the stairs. I was there, and Sarri come up to me. I didn't even ask. He come up to me, shook my hand. He said, "I'm sorry," so I've got a lot of respect for Sarri today. He was disrespected by Kepa. It was the right decision to bring Caballero off the.
The point is, that I'm trying to prove to you that I have a history of supporting managers. Again, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even saying sack him. I'm just saying he's crap. You're not listening to my message here. You're not actually listening to the words coming out of my mouth. I am fully aware he will not get sacked. But that does not mean that I have to accept the mediocrity that he has set this club as a standard. And the poor decision-making time after time after time after time. And the boring football and the lack of inspiration, on top of the fact that, let's be honest with you, it's just not that fun watching the team play that way. It's just not fun. The way we used to play last season, we had a pair of balls. We don't have any balls. We've got no character, no cojones. So it's just totally uninspiring to watch. But I agree with you. Like he won't be sacked. But just because someone's not going to be sacked, does that mean that he's the greatest thing ever? Or does that just mean that the ownership and the directors are even more incompetent than he is? I think you could probably say the latter. They're very incompetent. From a stability point of view, you keep Maresca, even if he is crap, just so the players can settle a little bit. You can't fucking change your manager every single season. We've had more managers than seasons under this ownership. That is not a good thing. He's a young manager. He's going to make mistakes. Stop the waffling. Then why did we hire him? Why the fuck did we hire him? We should have signed the Brighton manager. He's even younger than Maresca because he's going to make mistakes, isn't he? Of course he is. He's young. Why did we hire him? Just like you accept that. That is the standard that you accept. That he's going to make. So Chelsea are just going to make mistakes now. We're just not going to finish in the Champions League. We're not going to compete for titles. We're just because we're young, make mistakes. Directors are young. Bruce Buck was a lot older. When they get to his age, they'll be fine. Last season, we were in a position where we were gradually getting better game by game by game by game. But at this point, and this season, we're getting in a position where we're getting worse game by game by game by game. It's getting more boring. It's getting less inspiring, and there's less hope within this fan base than there was last season. Remember, the standard last season was different. The target was different. It was European football. That was the natural progression, right? And we achieved that. We achieved Europa League, and then we got bumped down to conference because of United winning the FA Cup. I would have been fine for Poch to leave if he hadn't have achieved European football. I would have been all for it. This year, the minimum is Champions League. That is the natural progression. The Europa League is not going to cut it, especially when you look at the finances. The finances show that without Champions League, we are really fucked. I mean, I think we're fucked anyway, financially, because we've taken on, what is it, how much is it? 1.2 billion pounds in fucking loans. We've got 1.2 billion pounds of debt on this club, 700 million from the banks, 500 million from Aries. And that is going to accumulate with interest to 2.5 billion pounds of debt that we have to pay off by 2033, which is when the money is going to be paid back, because Clear Lake are going to sell, because they're a private equity firm, for those of you who don't know. Oh. No, look, I'm fully aware. Like I've just mentioned it as well. Like I was all for it. Like I was a happy man when we were winning. I don't shy away from that. But again, we were in a great position, and that was before this unfolded. That's like you saying you're in a relationship with someone, and the first sort of 3-4 months, whatever it is, you're dating, you're having a good time, you're going out, life's good, and then you find out 6 months later that they were cheating on you. They were talking behind your back, and they were taking money from you. So just because I was happy then doesn't make me happy now. And it shouldn't mean that I should be happy now. It's a terrible logic. It's a silly logic. Big up to Joel. Thanks for the super chat, mate. I think if Chelsea are bringing Osimhen, I think Jackson can play on the left and Enzo in the 10 and Palmer on the right. Not sure I agree with that one, mate. Although I think Osimhen would be a great addition. I don't think it will happen, not without Champions League football, especially. I'm still not confident that it will happen. Jackson on the left, Enzo in the 10, Palmer on the right. Well, I agree with Palmer on the right. I think Palmer on the right is totally underrated, and nobody talks about it. Jackson on the left, I've only seen him play there like 2 or 3 times for Chelsea. He did Villa away last season. He was good. And maybe in pre-season, if I'm not wrong, at some point. If it wasn't this, it would have been last pre-season, maybe. Apart from that, haven't really seen it. Enzo in the 10 is a no from me as well. Not a fan of Enzo in the 10. So yeah, that's probably not the one for me. But respect your opinion. Respect your opinion, mate. And big up to you. Thank you for the super chat, mate. So being for the point is that I was happy at one point, and things have happened since then. Like, I'm not talking about a week, I'm not talking about a month, I'm talking about 4 months, 3-4 months. A lot has happened, and opinions are allowed to change. That's why they're opinions, not facts. What I state is not a fact. I mean, with the CVs, it is a fact. I mean, that's just obvious. But My opinion is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. But for you to say that nobody's opinion should have changed since December is disingenuous. And you're lying to yourself if you think that people are as happy now as they were then and as confident now as they were then. Being very disingenuous. Who would I play in the 10? Thanks for the super chat, Joel. Well, we're past the point of what I would have done at the beginning of the season. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I would have played Nkunku in the 10. That's what I would have done. I would have played Jackson up top. I would have played Nkunku behind him. I would have had Palmer on the right, and I would have had Neto on the left. Madueke would have been a squad player. Mudryk was already a squad player, so he just stayed as a squad player. And then Sancho could have come in and we could have rotated a little bit. João Felix could have rotated with Nkunku as well. So you could have kept both of those players happy. They could have had adequate game time. But we'll never know. That's what I would have done at the beginning of the season. Right now, I don't have a good answer for you, mate. I don't have a good answer because we don't have a good enough option. So, I mean, right now, the best option is to play Palmer as a 10. But I just don't think that that's the way you get the best out of him as a player. So, yeah. Listen, guys, big up to all of you. Got about 80 of you in the building. Smash the like button. Let's get straight up to let's get up to 80 likes on the video. I've done a bloody midnight stream. It's almost 1 a.m. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Listen, appreciate your time, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, we're going to have a lunchtime stream, which I will not be on. Nina will be doing the lunch stream tomorrow. And then I will be doing the evening stream. Oh, no, I won't. I won't be doing the evening stream either. Lewis will be doing the evening stream. And that'll be after the Champions League game. It'll be Lewis and Scott. Big up to all of you. And I'll be back very soon, guys.